Make sure it goes on. We've had a little trouble with Facebook, so let's make sure it goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's on. Yeah. Yeah. So let me turn it on my phone and make sure it's working there.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm just going to share it into my Facebook group as well for the community to get to watch.
Yeah, it's on my page now.
Beautiful.
All right, let me go find it. There you are. Okay, 21 people in the house.
Yeah.
Hello, Shanine, Denise Chadwick, Shaz Hargreaves, Jania Gosda, John Montgomery, John Hood. These shows resonate with you. Please share. Thank you for your continued love, support, and contributions. We've got a great show today with a beautiful divine feminine sister. Hello, Stephen Michael Jones, Glenn Ray's in the house, Maria Larson, Terry Willette, Mary Cooper.
Hi, everyone.
Let me just share this into the network real quick. Spread the word. So let's see what's happening. 11. All right. A few more people stepping in. Sharon Brown, Karen Fenstermacher, Susan Lanouette, Denise Wynn, Diane Williams, Raquel Toons, my dear sister from Canada, Lynn Wheatman, Edina Costa, Sandy Hinchke, Josie Rose, Corey Marshall, my brother, Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle, Cricket Holden, Siska Sombrock. God, they're coming in too fast. I apologize. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Second show of the day, Soul Speaks 5D. We've got the beautiful Zoe Davenport with us from Glastonbury, out there where Amanda Lawrence lives. Tamara Overyet's out there right now. There's a lot of light workers working in that area. Welcome to the show. Thank you for honoring us with your presence and sharing space with us today, Zoe.
Thank you, Todd. It's so great to be here, and just so I just have so much energy in my heart for all of us that are really ramping up at the moment with these energies. And I know that recently, like, I don't know about you, Todd, but I've just been feeling like literally I would sit down on the earth and I would feel the vibration of the earth like literally permeate through every single cell. And I feel like my water molecules are like jumping to this like frequency of light. And I have so much gratitude for everyone that is bringing all of the love into the earth at this time, because I can literally feel it in my cells, like all of the grid workers, all of the way showers, everything that we're doing is, I can feel the difference right now. And I get so excited.
Yeah. You know, that element or that aspect, that truth of the universe, it's available to all of us now. It really is. And, you know, it's either unity consciousness or it's not. You know, and it's this apocalypse, this unveiling is more in our personal face more than ever. And that sounds a little bit challenging and something to be scared of, but the truth is, you know, that chaos, these triggers and all these things are our opportunity to create the alchemy of the golden healing light of this universe. And we can do that by simply being that, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. You're right. Many, many people are on that path. And I think we all know it's not a path you just stay on and put your feet up on the desk and relax and everything's okay. That's when the next lesson comes. Yeah. So how long have you been on this path? I mean, did you wake up at a particular time? Did you have any type of traumatic episode like so many light workers, or was it something you always born with?
Yeah, I would say I came in pretty awake in my childhood. I had a lot of extrasensory experiences. I always told people I was psychic. I always told people I was a witch, even like when I was really, really small. And, you know, I just got laughed at, but I knew my truth. And yeah, I had quite a lot of like traumatic kind of background of like childhood into teenagehood. And my way of making sense of the chaos and the mess is I switched everything off. because I wasn't finding a way to ground into reality. And so I put my little cloak on and you know, kind of like went about the next 10 years just pretty dormant in my energy. And then about 10 years ago, I started to receive a series of activational sequences through numbers and messages, and you know, people I'd meet would want me to look at a particular YouTube video, and it set off something in my subconscious that was like, I know this, I've seen this before, I've felt this, I've experienced this. And I went through quite a messy breakup, and I had invested all of my time, energy, money into that one person. We've all done this with relationships. And we come out the other end in the fetal position thinking, shit, I've got like no money, no home, like nothing, like everything was just like stripped down. And I remember looking up to the sky going, how have I got this so wrong?
Yeah.
And the universe said, okay, now you're ready. I was like, ready for what? And they said, we'll show you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just absolutely that first year of like reintroducing myself into energy, consciousness, ascension, pre-2012. All of this was such an acceleration. I always say, like, I feel that year like I did a PhD and 2 degrees in quantum physics and spirituality, because I would stay up till like 4, 5, 6 a.m. every single night, just consuming information of like, what have I missed? What do I need to catch up on?
Yeah.
And 10 years later, what a journey.
Yeah, right. I think well, what was it Vera said on the previous show, when you think you got it figured out, you know, those points in the past where we thought we had it figured out, you know, and that's where the next level comes up, the next lesson, or whatever you want to call it, the next expansion, next trigger, the next triggers. You know, yeah, it has moved amazingly fast this year. Have you experienced that, especially these last few weeks?
Yeah, I'm finding the more we're coming into balance with our inner being, the more we're stepping out of time space. So the less sense time is going to make on our reality. And I'm finding that the more I'm trying to hold on to the sense of time or experience of linear reality, it's pulling me out of alignment of that multidimensional capacity.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what happened to April. I don't even know what happened to March. I don't even know what happened to February, but I know that I'm here, suddenly arrived at this point, and I've had all these experiences, but even the concept or attachment to those experiences have dissolved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially this week, Todd, like I don't know about anyone listening, but I feel like my psychic awareness is like super overdrive. And the ability to tune in and receive messages from people telepathically, and you know, like they'll ring, I'll bump into them, we're playing out the conversation. It's like my consciousness is ahead of the linear time, and then it's kind of sending information back to here. And that's it's kind of giving, it's really, for me, it's really getting me to step up into my truth and what I'm here to share. And even the way I'm offering service and my message and what I'm wanting to bring out to the wider audience of humanity, like everything is just dissolving so quickly. And my guidance this week is just to find a nice little comfortable spot in the middle and just let everything dissolve exactly how it needs to. Don't worry about the how, just worry about the being.
Yeah.
And that focus and ground in, because of the frequencies can be so high, it can be really hard to like focus on what reality means or make sense of it. And we're not meant to. Like I was driving my car yesterday and I was like, this is all an illusion. And then all of this gold energy just spurted out into the car with all these little tiny fairies. And I was like, right.
Welcome to the higher dimensions. So, and yeah, I love what you're saying about the impact of the intel, the information coming in, the data coming in, the code coming in. and how it is so substantial. What does that offer a challenge to you on a personal level? And I only ask this, that as the individual goes, so goes a collective. Maybe there's some bits of wisdom or something in there that people can pick up on and learn from or expand from. But does that highly impactful intel coming in, does it challenge the ego?
Yes. Yeah, it's what I've been feeling so strongly, Todd, in my being, like right deep in the core, is radical self-reliance, radical self-awareness, radical forgiveness, and commanding and declaring sovereignty on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And declaring that I am solely responsible for my thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions to my created universe through my consciousness. And in that power of now, I have the ability to surrender all thoughts that need to be dissolved into the light, that are not serving unity consciousness, that are not bringing through my higher awareness. And so through that process, the ego is like, well, hang on a minute, but what about X and what about Z and what about how this is going to work out? And yeah, but you still need to do this. And the heart, it's like, it's too late.
Yeah. You're screwed. The universe said, you're screwed. You're in this now. You bought the ticket. Take the ride.
Yeah.
I love what you said about sovereignty. A lot of times, myself included, you think of the word sovereignty, especially going into this year, before this year, because it has taken on new meaning. It's so much of everything else has. But we think of sovereignty as being free of these, these falsely, the patriarchal system, the taxes, the government, the control, the rules, the lawless laws, or from people, from a person, from a relationship, from a job. But it's really anything and everything, and it's what you're describing. It's all right here. It's the pick and choose of what's there, and what am I going to go with? What am I going to be? And one of the things I think that's encouraging, I see these nuggets, and I'd love to chase these people to get them on the show. These people who rarely say anything, who are in the background, and when they say something, they're just nuggets of gold, and they're carrying that same vibration of, hey, chill out, go easy on yourself, go easy on your brothers and sisters. We're all in this together, and the good news is we're all expanding, and like the heart said, it's too late. Game on. Because the other game's over.
Yeah. And it's letting go of the need to be in conflict or divide from any person, place, or thing, and just seeing the divinity in all aspects of self. Because when we zoom out, when I see energy through my third eye, I'm shown like a kaleidoscopic image of all these different reflections and fractals. And if we are to embody, which is a strong word to use, or at least learn how to embody the fact that we are divine creative beings and we are one, we are source consciousness, we have to take responsibility that we are source consciousness and break ourselves out of duality and come into neutrality with everything, place, and person that we believe has taken us out of that alignment. But we have to see the divine reflection within ourselves. And that declaration of daily sovereignty is cutting ties with the emotional cords that have been manipulating us to stay in those lower frequencies that keep playing out that rinse and repeat karmic cycle over and over and over again. And I'm seeing a lot of energy move in people's awarenesses of what reality means, and everyone is wanting to talk about their process with each other and what they've been triggered upon. And it's also creating a lot of lengthy conversation, whereas when we just pick ourselves up and take ourselves over here and maybe connect with the plants, with our being, it allows us to disconnect from that energy. It's just like, it's so done. It's so done.
I did that this morning. I woke up, we moved furniture all day yesterday, and I was really sore, and I woke up and some energy came at me, which is not, you know, out of the ordinary. And I said, Morgan, you want to go down to the beach? So, you know, it's 15 minutes walking in the sand, you know, letting the water, you know, run up through me, and just listen to some music. All that stuff went away. And, you know, I'm done. Let's go to work and follow our passion. But yeah, it's, you know, I don't think well, it's my opinion. I don't think we're giving ourselves enough credit. What you're describing is work. If I say, and I don't know that I have, but I mean, if I say, I'm there, I'm in the neutral zone, I'm 0 point all the time, each day and every day, you know, who am I trying to convince, you or myself? Because the fact is, if I got to say it, I ain't doing it. And that's okay. If I just understand that this is a continuum, this is something that occurs moment by moment by moment, and it's a constant moving energetic force. That's what I am. That's what you are. That's what the earth is. That's what the universe is. An expansion, an outer breadth of Mother Universe. And it requires, like you said, the soul responsibility, the I am soul, the personal responsibility for the happenings of this universe, which really makes it easy because it just says, hey, work on yourself. Be aware of me. Be aware of the voice that you're hearing. That is the all. That is you, and engage that. And you don't have to go out and save the world. You don't have to go out and defend anybody. You don't have to go out and attack anybody. You don't have to go out and do anything. You don't have to go out and preach anything. You just be that, you know, the is, the are. Yeah,
Yeah, that's beautiful. And we are enough in
yes.
our play and our joy and our ability to connect with our hearts and connecting with each other through that energy. The subtle feeling of that is what is shifting the planet, because we're coming into union and harmony with that beautiful frequency of love. And it's no longer, as you said, this like battle, us versus them, light versus dark, or
Mm-hmm.
people aren't doing enough work to shift. And it's like, it comes from joy and self-love.
Yeah.
And as you so beautifully demonstrated, just going for a walk on the beach is like, how amazing is that we get to have that experience in this human form. And that is shifting our vibration into one of joy, which is shifting the planet into one of joy, which is shifting that co-creative experience. And that is enough. We are enough to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And laughing. And the laughing thing too, right? You know, I mean, for me, that's been for 7+ years of my number one thing has been to, if I'm not laughing, I'm not okay. You know, if I'm not laughing and finding humor throughout the day, this is a beautiful game. You know, it's not a horrible nightmare. You know,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful game, and we are anointed and chosen. I believe we've earned the right to be here. We're representing the universe in an incredible way, and every one of us should be honored. I believe we're all honored and held in a very high esteem by all the star families and the universe itself.
Yeah. And you've literally like captured that divine essence that cannot unfold through fighting and pushing and shoving and giving an expectation of self to serve in a way that's not authentic to us.
Yeah.
And I, for my journey personally, Todd, like I had to switch off a lot of the external ideas and ideals of what ascension meant and what awakening meant, because I was finding myself overwhelmed and being pulled in so many different directions. And when I kind of let everything go and came into myself, my heart spoke, and it connected to my child and that essence of love and self-love. And it took me a long time to actually like understand and embody and embrace that, like, that was enough.
Yeah.
And from that came this ability to serve in a way far greater than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's through joy
It
and laughter
is.
and giggles.
It is through joy and giggles, you know. And there's a lot of hard truths that come before us, and there's we're made up of multiple, you know, infinite frequencies, and some frequencies you're in this end of the spectrum, and some of them I'm in this end of the spectrum. The spectrum does not have the comparison of higher and lower. It's just another part of the spectrum, you know.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of hard truths, I think, for all of us, and they come in different degrees for all of us on an individual basis. But it's really that being honest with ourselves. The days of validating our existence through others, because that's our primary face of the universe, is in our human relationships. The days of being able to validate our existence, our meaning, our life, our labels, and all that's our work, or whatever, and all that stuff are over. The universe will not let that stand. We are here to find ourselves, and that is a very personal journey that nobody can speak for another.
Yeah. And that's why I find, Todd, that there is so much misunderstanding when it comes to spiritual awakening and ascension, because everyone's got their own version of consciousness of it. And it's what's in here.
Yeah. And nobody can take that away from you.
No.
You know the heart of your intentions. It's not, look, our higher selves is not going to allow us to make excuses, lie, or project externally. More yesterday than today, less tomorrow than today. And like Vera said in the, or whoever, I get mixed up now, but the heart says it's too late, right? The universe says it's too late. You're in this game, you know, it's like we're going down a roller coaster, like you just went up to a big hill and you go straight down.
Yeah.
And, you know, your stomach's back there, and you can say, okay, you can either go, wee, and scream and laugh and go plunging into this unknown abyss at warp speed, or you can, you know, white knuckle it the whole way down. Let go or be dragged. You know, we are our own master.
I don't know about you, Todd, recently, but this week I've been, I know I feel when I'm going through a big transition in my reality is when I'm told to look and touch every single like physical thing that I own, and feel into the vibration of everything with love and grace. And if it brings me joy, then it stays. And if it doesn't, then I donate it and pass it on. And also things like emails and bank statements, like looking at everything in my creative reality, and cleaning, cleansing, and just really organizing in a way that what do I want to take with me, like into this next shift, and even what thought patterns do I want to take with me? What do I want to call in? What have I been putting off that I don't believe I can receive for myself? And it's a really fun process, but I think I feel many people get so kind of caught up in the drama of wanting to know the how and what's going to happen. And I find when we just allow that space and just sit in that space and feel cleansed in that space, that roller coaster levels out, right? And it brings us into like a nice scenic view, and
and that being in your own space is everything. It's everything of the ego. It's everything of the soul. It's everything of everything. Every multidimensional aspect, every emotion. That's being in our space. That's honoring ourselves. And wow, you know, wow, people have come so far, and I still say this every day. These verbalizations at this point in the transition, because I firmly believe there will be no talking before too long, but the verbalization of our experience, of our emotions, of our truth. And people think of truth, oh, this is the truth. No, the truth is I feel like crap today. I feel this today. I feel, you know, whatever. You know, I feel fantastic. I went to the beach and the water came up into my shorts. You know, I mean, it was, you know, whatever. The sun was shining on my face. Good, bad, whatever we see, all these labels. That's our space. Our sacred space is not all fluffy love and light in human terms, but it all is pure light. If we can align with ourselves, we are aligning with the universe. And we are actually giving as we all want to give to the collective, to the universe, by that. I hate to, I don't mean to be preaching, but I feel a certain resonance with the energy of the morning and the previous show with Vera and you. I'm not really sure what you do. I have a feeling you're a practitioner, energy worker. I don't know if you want to do, if there's anything you would like to do, we're about halfway through the show, but if there's anything you'd like to do, light language, a blessing, a healing, talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm really feeling the resonance of you, Todd, and you know, the flow and the beautiful energy of the conversation. And there's just a real beautiful harmony. And I know when I have met people of that frequency of light, because my heart just like bursts open. And I'm loving connecting with you and sharing the conversation of just pure love and truth. And as you shared as well, like, you know, showing up for ourselves, you know, in our experience and honoring that experience and being non-attached to the experience. And, you know, sometimes we're going to have these like super lows and these dips and want to cry and release things. And there's still things that are coming through, and it's honoring ourselves in that moment as well, right? And surrendering to it. And I know for me, when I'm feeling like right now in my experience, because I've been in Glastonbury the past month, and I grew up just outside of Glastonbury, so I've been coming here since I was a child, like a small baby, and I'm very used to the energy here. And this is the most crystalline I've ever felt these lands. Wow. I came here and I was like met with just such joy, and so my energy's been feeling like really like bubbly and crystalline and pure. But I also know that there's going to be days where I'm not going to feel like that, and I'm going to feel a little bit like I need to cry, or I need to hold myself, or I need to cancel my day and let the flow of energy pass through how it needs to. And I think that's really important that we remember that, because I know many people, like, they watch interviews like this, they're, oh my God, they're like so happy and energized. I'm like, yeah, we are, but sometimes not. And it's good to honor each emotion as it comes through. Yeah. And yeah, but yeah, I'd very much love to bring through a transmission. I do multi-dimensional channeling and DNA light body activations. So I can just tune in and just allow whatever needs to come through, if you're ready for that now, or we can talk more. Or...
No, I think it's perfect timing. Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'll just invite everyone into this space by just closing your eyes and placing your hands on your heart. And taking a nice deep breath in through your nose into your heart and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just placing your hands comfortably on your lap, either facing down if you're feeling like more grounding, or facing up if you're feeling like more energy. Feeling the soles of the feet connecting in with the ground below you. And just lifting your shoulders up, back and down, just to lengthen your spine. Dipping your chin ever so slightly down, lengthening the back of your neck, and feeling your crown direct up towards the sky. And then just tilting your pelvis ever so slightly up, so then that lengthens the base of your spine. And just taking a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. And in your mind's eye and your imagination, just bringing through a golden crystalline energy of light down through the sky, down through the crown of your head, down through your being, down through the soles of your feet, down through the earth, and all the way down into the crystalline core of Gaia. So just feeling this beautiful column of golden energy, just cleansing, purifying, and grounding you into this space. And just allowing your heart to open, allowing your mind to become free, and just being open to the transmission of light as we call in the higher consciousness and frequencies that wish to be here in communication at this time, calling upon the higher self, calling upon all energies and anything not here for our highest good to go home and evolve. allowing yourself to feel in a protected space and a protected container through this transmission. And just focusing on your breath. And just continuing to imagine that beautiful spiraling golden energy through your being. Imagining all of your cells activating and lighting up with this golden energy. Coming back into your own energy, calling all of yourself back into this space. Anywhere you've left behind, anywhere you've overstretched yourself. Coming back into this space. Kiatana sushufu yaranata yaranakaya sofo. Ashofu yanasaka fufu yanasa. Yaranaka sashufu rinianasa. Kofu yaranasa yadonoto yasata. Kaka kianda tosho yaranasa. Soshufu yaranasa yaranasa yaranomu. Kikiana so shofuya. Iatanasa shofuya nasa. Iaranasa kianasa safuya nasa. Kiatanaso shofuya nasa. Itano no sofo yaranasa ta yaranasa. Kita nasa shufu yaranasa. Fuku yamata yanasa. Yotono mo yarana. Akatana sato tu yaranasa yaranaso. Fi yaranasa yaranaka. Aranoto shufu yaranasa. And allowing your energies to rise up from the earth and into your feet and into your bodies and into your hearts, connecting you with the crystalline grid of Gaia, and allowing yourself to raise your frequency through the transmission of light, allowing yourself to remember your divinity and connection to your source consciousness. Yaranasa sho yaranasa yaranasa. Itanono sofu yaranasa ekopoyanana. Itananasa shoto namo sofu. Taking a deep breath into your heart. Deep breath out. Shukuyananasa yaranasa sho fuyana. And just placing your hands on your heart. Taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And we wish to share with you the frequency of light in this moment, to remember your divinity, remember your way home, and remember your connection to your heart. Remembering to spend daily creating your expression through speaking your truth, through connecting in to your self-worth and your knowing that you are here for great mastery of your manifested reality. And knowing as you open your heart daily and you let the love in, that more of this crystalline consciousness can upgrade your operating systems, activating your cellular memory. Kiaranaso shofo yaranasa yaranasa, iranasato yamasa. We wish to remind you at this time to practice with your energy, connecting in through your heart and your feet and your head and your body, remembering that you are an energetic being and that you can clear and transmute any emotional disturbances in your energetic field as you open your heart and expand your auric field. Kiaranaso sho yaranasa yaranasa, itononobu yaranasa kayaranasa shofo. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Yaranaso sho yaranasata yanaso. Placing your hands together in front of your heart. And then just rubbing your hands together to create some heat. Placing them over your eyes. And gently opening your eyes and coming back into space, giving yourself a great big hug.
Mhm.
Thank you for receiving.
Thank you for providing that. As I was listening and watching, observing you and myself, I started to get a tone, which was a very much a feminine tone. And when you said the words, speak your truth, and it came in as, in my interpretation, it came in as what I received was what she's speaking of, what the collective is speaking of through what she's saying is to speak your truth to yourself. Speaking, in other words, speaking your truth doesn't mean, you know, I see this out there, or I see that out there, or so and so this, or so and so that. It's speaking the truth to yourself. But anyway, I just thought I would throw that in there because I received that in tandem with what you were doing. Now, do you do? You are an energy worker, right? Do you work with people one-on-one? Do you work online, in person only, or do you do any group work?
Yeah, I do all of that. I do. I mostly run group work because the power of a group is just like we can really get into some beautiful energies with each other. So I run a number of group programs online at different tiers and levels of energy work and self-love and belief-free patterning. Yeah, sometimes I offer one-to-one sessions. They are sometimes released on my website, or I email my list when I have space in my calendar, and I let people know. And I also run like in-person and group retreats. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And now, what is your website? Where can people find you? I mean, is it just on Facebook, or do you have your own website?
It's really easy. It's Zoe Davenport.co.uk.
Okay.
And yeah, so if anyone is guided to find out more, when you go to the website and you sign up, you receive a DNA activation, which is similar to what I was sharing today. That's kind of like the main crux of my service is activating light bodies through sound toning and ceremonial energy shifting. It's just energy. It's our creative expression. Love it.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm
You
so
said
just energy that came through.
you, you mentioned what did you say about tonal? Did you say tonal healing, something like that?
So so the what I do is crystalline DNA activation through toning
Okay.
and light language. So I'm working with people's energy field, and I'm literally kind of activating them through the vibration of light. So that kind of is what comes through me. And then it's always connecting that person with the crystalline grid, which is that kind of fifth dimensional
Yeah.
Gaia consciousness.
Yeah, I find that toning really intriguing. You know, Daniel Scranton does it. A few other people have done it, and I find that really intriguing. It's that, well, obviously there's no words. Sometimes they'll mix words in there, but it's pretty incredible, the vibrations that it puts out. You know, the code and expansion, at least expansion potential. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it interesting too that, you know, as this has evolved, and I know we're somewhere around 1,000 episodes of the show, that it's interesting how accepted, um, how resonating and aligning the audience and expansion in numbers of the audience, when someone goes into toning or light language. Because I can remember a year ago, when somebody would come on, and I watched the numbers, and I could see, you know, there might be an interview, you know, talking back and forth, a conversation, then it might start some light language, and the numbers would start to kind of like drop, and now they sustain themselves and even go up. So I think that says a lot for, you know, having some physical evidence of the five senses of you know, the impact of, or the proof of an expanded vibration, that little voice in our head can't deny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when it started to when I first started to be downloaded with toning, and what I was told first is I did solo travel working with the crystalline grid. So I worked at opening certain portals all through Central America to start. And so there's all these crystals buried there. And then when I would sit in meditation in those activated portals, I would then get like a transmission of light come through that would come through in toning. And my guides basically shared with me, you're going to share this to the masses. Like, this is the frequency of light that you need to share, which is crystalline activation. And at the time I was like Googling online and I couldn't find anything. And I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to share this? People are going to think I'm crazy. But over the past few years, like, it's just like people are waking up so quickly that they're getting, it's hitting that frequency now.
Yeah.
And even for me, Todd, like the evolution of toning and light language, when I go deep into process with my clients in group work, what actually comes out instead is there's the toning and light language, and it starts to kind of like lighten up the energy, and people start to kind of feel the vibration in their being. But then this really ancient, like it's almost like, it sounds like this ancient shamanic chanting. I don't know if you've ever done a plant medicine ceremony or like heard an Icaro. It's kind of similar to that. It's like a really like deep,
like guttural, like guttural when it comes out.
Yeah, I can't even, because like when I'm in my human, I'm like, but it's like this really kind of high energy kind of, it's like a song. It's basically like a song. And when I'm feeling the energy of it, like I feel all of these, it's almost like they show themselves as elder women, and they're like pushing and pulling my tummy to like get the sounds out. Cause I can't sing. I really like, I'm tone deaf. But when I'm in that space, this beautiful like essence comes through, and I just feel like such a vibration in my body. So there's even like an evolution of that toning into this chanting. And I wonder what's going to happen from the evolution of that. Maybe we're just silent.
I think so. I think so. I mean, it's, you know, people have talked about it on this show for the last few weeks. Well, with more and more frequency, actually, you know, going back to, I don't know when, is the telepathy. And I've seen it. A lot of people talked about it. Well, it happened this morning with Vera coming on. That was telepathy. I get it. Like, I haven't been doing shows consistently for the last week because Morgan just came back and we're getting acclimated, getting our place set up. But prior to that, I was doing, you know, pretty consistently. And it was almost like every night we were meeting. And then when I get on the shows, 3 or 4 shows the next day, it was like everything was coming back to me, like what we're going to talk about. And it wasn't a human voice. It was just that intuition, you know, that feeling. But there was a strong element of, and the other person would align with it or would bring it up. Or, you know, I was going to talk about that. Or, oh, I'm glad you asked me that. I was going to talk about that, you know. So, yeah, it's there. It's real. Looks like we're having a little bit of an internet connection. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah.
So do you have anything coming up? Do you do some group stuff online? Do you have anything coming up you might want to tell us about?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 or 3 group offerings right now. One is a 4-hour abundance accelerator deep dive immersion online, which is on May the 11th. I think it's around 10 a.m. Pacific time, where we're going to go really into a beautiful process of like an hour of like energetic preparation and really kind of cleansing and clearing out those kind of baseline energy centers and getting into that higher frequency of potential. And I'm going to be sharing a lot about advanced quantum mechanics and quantum physics techniques for us. So that's on May the 11th. And then I think get my dates right now, May 16th, I have a 4-week program called I Am Enough, which is an energy activation, coming back to innocence, coming back to that childlike essence, and reminding ourselves and embodying the frequency that I am enough. Because I'm finding that no matter who I speak to, wherever they're at in their spiritual ascension, that frequency of I am enough is still yet to be really fully felt in a person's being. Yeah. And so that's a really powerful journey over 4 weeks. And then in June, I run a slightly more intimate container called the Energetics of Self-Love, which is an 8-week process of, again, ceremonial DNA activation and energetic inquiry, where it's belief repatterning work, working with the subconscious and really going into those like underlying layers of a person's reality that is still caught up in that kind of old paradigm, and allow them to show up for themselves. So I mean, everything is on my Facebook events page. That's probably the best way to check those out, and they have all the links to them. And then also just reach out to me as well if anyone wants to know.
Can you give us an idea, just to not anything in depth, but you mentioned quantum practices, or I think quantum mechanics in one of the courses. Can you give us an idea, just as what I'm kind of a rookie on this, the quantum part of it, the scientific part of it. Can you kind of explain that in human terms?
For sure. Yeah. So I basically, I'm going to do this literally with the screen. Okay. So here's where most people's consciousness is with reality. They're like really zoomed up, really close, right? Right to the thing that's really in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a process of zooming out, expanding the energy, expanding the heart, expanding the auric field, expanding the consciousness, connecting to the outer limits of reality. So that's through like an energetic process. So then we have this like amazing peripheral vision of everything, of all of our realities, all of our layers. And just taking someone through a process where they can start to really understand what that means for their human experience. Yeah.
Which I would think would to include then working with the information and the expanded awareness that you have to transform the energy of yourself, and therefore your experience and those things around you. Yeah.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Because I find that like the inner work is the outer reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anything that's not lining up for us in our outer reflection, inner work. Coming in. And so the terminology like quantum mechanics is my best way of explaining what I see in my consciousness. When I look at a person's energy field, like I'll see the energy of their chakra system, I'll see what's still dissolving, I'll see what's integrating. I'm shown like the sacred geometry, I'm shown like the signature of their heart. And so for me, I can see through all these layers of consciousness. And so my best way of explaining that and bringing people into that remembrance that we are energy is teaching techniques about strengthening that third eye. So like operating, our spiritual muscle, so that we can see reality, but we see beyond what's here. Yeah. And as we continue to do that, it's like, oh yeah, we're energy. We create our reality.
That's right. That's the word. That's the word, energy. You're not a person, well, you are, but you're energy. You're representing energy to me. I'm in front of you. You're in front of me for a reason today, and everything else that comes my way. Zoe Davenport.co.uk. This is the year of sovereignty, expansion, supporting brothers and sisters, collaboration, co-creation. You guys get over to her website, check out her stuff. If it resonates, let's move forward in equal energy exchange as we bring in 5D plus commerce and all the other aspects together. And like you said, the heart said, it's too late. It's done. We bought the ticket. We're taking the ride. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence, sharing space with us today. I look forward to future collaborations. And thank you for your service. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Todd. And so much love to all of you. Thank you.
You take care. We might come on tonight with a special broadcast, Morgan and I, and we might not. That's the way the Ascension works. You can't plan anything, but some of that feelings coming in that we might do that. You take care, Zoe. Take care, everybody. Thank you for coming in.